Welcome back to Necessary Conversations with APUA. I am SHARIFA George, Public Relations Coordinator of APUA, and we are continuing a very necessary conversation that we're having about meter reading and billing. And joining us is Mr. George Pryce, Supervisor within the Meter Reading Department, and Berinda Joseph, Data Processor. So to continue our discussion about meter reading and billing, we just got an explanation about how an electricity and water bill is broken down and how to calculate it. But Mr. Pryce, in the event that a customer does not receive a bill, what sort of course of action do you suggest that customer take?
Customers can call the meter reading department at 480-7148 or 480-7127, 480-7171. And inquire of the status of their bill, whether they have been delivered, whether the meter reader has gone to the area, or they're pending delivery. They can also utilize, for those who are tech savvy, they can utilize the online billing system that we have to check their bills on a monthly basis to ensure that there's a bill actually there for them. Or they could also check in with the customer service, and if they prefer, they could get a soft copy printed right there.
Excellent. So prior to the COVID-19 relief efforts for APUA, there was a 10% discount that customers were expected to, take advantage of on or before the due date. Is it still 10%, and is it still a requirement for persons to pay on or before the due date?
Okay. What APUA have decided in light of the recent pandemic is to offer customers an additional 5% discount on the already 10% discount that they're receiving on their electricity bills for paying their bills on time. So at present, we have the fuel variation standing at 50 cents. Previously, before the pandemic, it was 60 cents. We have then taken 10 cents off of the fuel variation, plus we have given you a 10% discount. However, from June, effective June 1st, they have also increased that discount to 15%, so you're now enjoying over 25% discount on electricity services for paying your bills on or before the due date.
And that's only electricity bills?
That's only electricity bills. Commercial services continue to enjoy the 10% discount.
Great. So a number of our customers are recipients of the PDV voucher. That's $100 off of any service. How does that apply, especially with the 15% discount?
Okay. PDV is a government-issued initiative between the Venezuelan government and the government of Antigua and Barbuda that allows senior citizens a $100 subsidy on their bills monthly. So how that actually works is the consumer visit the PDV branch, apply for their PDV voucher, which they will then receive, I think, in 6 months intervals. Once they have received their voucher, they then proceed to any one of our customer service branches and apply their payment. Now, to apply the payment on the voucher itself, it has made provision for you to include which service or services you're applying the bills to. For example, you can apply that $100 voucher on your electricity bills only, or you can also divide it and pay a portion on your electricity, your water, or your telephone services. There are also some fortunate senior citizens who are enjoying that $100 voucher to be able to pay all 3 of their services. Wow. Because their bill is that low. In addition to that, once those citizens are paying their bills on or before the due date, the additional discounts that I've previously mentioned will apply. That is, the fuel variation is at 50 cents, so they will be calculated at 50 cents. Plus, they will also receive that 15% discount for paying their bills on time.
I have a question though. When you get a bill for June, it's actually due in July. But there's sometimes a discrepancy. I have my voucher for June, but I can't apply it to my June bill because, of course, that's in July. So what advice would you give to customers under those sort of conditions where they're trying to get their bills in the month that it's due, but it's also a case where that month may not be the one printed on the bill?
Okay. When you're using your PDV vouchers, you must utilize the current month that we're in. For example, each voucher has a specific month that the payment should be applied. So you must ensure that you utilize a voucher that says, for example, we're in July, so you must be able to use the voucher that says July. Similarly, if you're using the Dropbox option, you can put your voucher in the Dropbox, but ensure that you have done so at least a few days before. So in the event we carry over to the other month, we will know that the payment was made before the due date, and it would be applied in that instance. Sorry.
Thank you. So we're familiar, Mr. Pryce, with some challenges that meter readers would have accessing meters: aggressive dogs, locked gates. So what are some alternatives in those situations that customers can take advantage of if they need to maintain the security mechanisms?
We have provided some alternatives to customers. First of all, when a meter reader goes to a property and there's an aggressive dog or whatever hindrance that's preventing them from getting access to the meter, we have a decal that we would leave for the customer with indicating why we could not get to read the meter, and the customer leaving for the customer, so they would call back to the office and we would make an arrangement with them how we would be able to get the reading going forward. In some case, we have made arrangement. We call a customer on a monthly basis to let them know we're going to be there tomorrow, so they will tie the dog or leave the gate open. Some customers, they do not want to keep a dogs tied or open their gate because of theft that they've had in previous times. So we give them the option to call in the readings. The only thing with that is that we've had customers who call in their readings and still query their bills. We're now trying to move to a new initiative where we are asking customers to send their reading via WhatsApp pictures of the meters. We have had quite a few people doing it and they are in agreement. So we're looking at that way going forward. What that does is gives us the opportunity to actually look at the meter without going to the property. There we can see the serial number, we can see the reading, we can see whether the meter has abandoned it, that it's sealed or whatever. So we have an actual picture to look at which represents the meter reader going to the meter.
So in instances like that, do you still go and do a physical check with the photos?
Yes, we're in contact with the customers to let them know that normally when they call in a reading, which is an actual number, so they will call, give us a number, we'll take it down, send it to data processing. And we would require on the third month, so they give us a reading for 2 months, and we would require to see the meter for ourselves on the third month. With this option, we can extend it a little bit longer, depend on, being more flexible with the customer. But we still would need to see that meter at some point. So we're still in discussion as to when we're going to make this, maybe the 4th month or the 5th month.
So in instances like those, there's just a handful of customers who will be utilizing that WhatsApp or call-in service that is being offered by meter reading. Is that correct?
Correct. That option is only open to customers who we have issues with getting to their meter, the gate lock and the dog prevent mainly. Those with the garbage and the chipping shown on the meter, we'd have to contact them to let them know this is not acceptable and we need to have access to all meters.
So, Ms. Joseph, how can customers verify if the reading published on their bill is actually correct?
Okay, if customers believe that their reading might be incorrect for whatever reason, the first option would be for them to contact customer service at 480-7150, speak with a customer service representative, and they will then assist them. What they may do is to contact the meter reader and have them to take a look at the property again and read the meter again to ensure that the readings that they have on their bill matches or is close enough to the reading that they receive on that day. In addition to that, the customer can also compare their readings from the previous month by taking down the readings. If, for example, they know that their meters are being read, let's say the 1st to the 3rd of every month, they can then write their readings down, and then the next month write the readings down again so that they can make a comparison to know exactly what their bill is expected to be like. Once they receive the actual bill, they can then compare readings to see if it is within reason. It may be different a few units depending on when they took the reading and when the meter readers actually took their reading. Also, if they would like, we also take readings from customers itself, as Mr. Pryce indicated earlier. So they have three options. They can contact customer service, they can compare their readings from the 1 month to the next month, or they can also call in their readings. And that, to me, will ensure that you have a pretty good idea that your bill would be correct.
So just to wrap up our conversation, I just have one question that I want to put to both of you. So if a customer observes an abnormality in their bill, what would you recommend that customer do? We can start with you, Mr. Pryce.
If a customer observes an anomaly on their bill, they could contact customer service first. Give them the query, and customer service will contact the meter reading department via a service order. And we in turn will go out and look to ensure that the anomaly that the customer is querying is actually happening.
Okay, just to add what Mr. Pryce said, if a customer observes an anomaly in their bill, in addition to them preparing a service order to have the meter readers go out and check the readings, if, for example, the meter is not working, normally the meters are estimated for the set amount each month because it's an estimated service and the meter isn't working. So what we do is to actually get an average of your last three actual and give you an estimate going forward. However, with the service order, and we realize that, hey, customer is disgruntled and they're having a problem with us estimating their service, we can also send to have their meters changed. That way, once the meter is changed, they will then receive actual readings going forward.
And it's also very important to manage your own consumption. I mean, keep track of how much you consume, and there's a really great feature on the direct online bill payment that allows customers to do just that. Keeps a record for them, and they'll be able to do their own comparisons. So we have come to the end of Necessary Conversations with APUA, where we were having a discussion about meter reading and billing. And there's some takeaways from this discussion that we believe will be important for you. So customers should always strive to get involved when it comes to managing their accounts by understanding how to read their bills. Arrangements can be made in situations where it is absolutely necessary that meter readers are not allowed to access properties to read meters. And lastly, if you notice that there are any inconsistencies or abnormalities, we encourage customers to speak with our customer service agents, and they are available via telephone at 480-7150, via email at customerservice@apua.ag, or they can always come in store at APUA's 3 locations at Village Walk, Independence Drive, and South Mall. So thank you again, Mr. Pryce and Ms. Joseph, for coming to Necessary Conversations with APUA. And we invite you, our viewers, to join us next time for another necessary conversation about planning as it relates to electricity. I'm SHARIFA George. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.